Food insecurity in Toronto has hit crisis levels, with the Daily Bread Food Bank reporting 270,000 visits in the month of March. That number has quadrupled from pre-pandemic times. The CEO here says food banks across the city have hit a breaking point, and he's calling on the provincial government to take immediate action.
We are now seeing 12,500 new clients coming to us every single month for the first time. They have never been to a food bank before.
For the first time, the number of children coming to food banks has increased. It used to be 1 of every 7 was a child. Now we see 1 of every 4 is now a child.
The Daily Bread Food Bank, along with some of the charities it supports across the city, are painting a grim picture, saying the growing demand is unprecedented and unsustainable.
Sometimes I don't have lunch. I don't have food at lunch. My friends are kind and they share with me, but they ask me, why don't you have food? My mommy and daddy say it's because there's no food in the cupboard. These are not my words, but the words of those walking in through our door every day in order to access food.
Daily Bread CEO Neil Hetherington says people who have full-time jobs are now using food banks to feed their families, and they're also seeing a major spike in people who have fixed incomes and rely on social assistance.
A single individual on Ontario Works receives a dismal $733 a month to survive on, the exact same amount as in 2018. A single individual on disability is receiving $1,229 per month to survive on, some $900 below the poverty line.
Last year, the province acted on a campaign promise, boosting the ODSP rates by 5% and tied future increases to the rate of inflation. But critics say it's still not nearly enough. The Daily Bread Food Bank is now calling on the Ford government to provide emergency top-ups to these social assistance programs, like what was provided in the height of the pandemic. Hetherington says the Premier was well aware of this food insecurity crisis heading into last month's budget, but failed to act.
We made a budget submission. We have done everything that we can to make sure that the voices of those who are experiencing food insecurity is heard. We know that we can make changes in emergency situations between budgets, and we are giving the provincial government that opportunity to see the numbers and walk back together from the limb that we collectively are on.
Daily Bread says their food budget has increased from $1.5 million a year to $1.8 million every month, and by 2025, they may not be able to meet demand. CityNews did reach out to the Premier's office to ask if their requests are being considered, but did not hear back in time for broadcast. In Etobicoke, Shauna Hunt, CityNews.